Alrighty, here we go. I think I got everything set up right. I've got my story posted. Yeah, no. No? Instagram? Come on. Come on, Instagram. There we go. Instagram is now on board. All right. Whoops. There we go. All right, here we go. Now we can work. Yeah, I think this will be good. It's going to be a 3-2-1 layout. Yeah, I think 3-2-1 is good. Pen. Here we go. Pen. These in there a little bit. So what I'm doing now is I'm laying out my rough sketch with frames. Just to be kind of like an ease in, a little bit bigger on the second set. And this will actually, yeah, this will work well. The title is going to be up here, and I can probably move this up because there's no text or narration on this one. So it should make it pretty easy. So this is a kind of breaking the fourth wall viewer interaction comic. So Floof comes along, he notices the viewer and runs up, gives him a hug, and then he's like, come along with me. And they go on a little floof along, and then he leads him into the forest. They have some berries, and then he leads them to the butterfly spot. butterfly interaction zone. Figure would definitely be an invitation I would accept to go floof along with a floof for half the day. All right, so once I have my, okay, so actually let me show a couple of things. In a typical comic, what I'll do is I will lay it out on like my notebook, and this is actually a writing one that I don't know if I'll actually make this into a comic. It might be a long form comic, or I've got to figure it out, but it's a lot of text, but I like it. And then of course down here is the little one that I just drew out here. And so that's kind of my first step, is the ideation phase, where I go through and I start drawing. Oh, yeah, there's another one right there. And I have several pages. There's another full page of ideas. Lots of ideas, actually. So that's what it starts off as. And I feel like, because I do some comics that start and are exclusively digital, like I'll sketch out and those are pretty rare when you look at kind of the big picture. For some reason it works better for me to use a physical notebook and draw out that way. I don't know, it just feels like the ideas flow better. So that's how I usually start. And then first step is bringing that rough sketch and idea and layout, kind of perfecting it in here, and drawing the basic frames, the layout of the frames, and the pacing of it. Most of this is so I can focus individually on each frame. Like if I draw it one at a time and I don't have my notes jot down somewhere, I feel like I'll have to reserve some mental energy to remember, okay, I need the floof to be doing this, or I need to be, floof to be doing that at this point in time. And so my focus won't be full. So sketching this out, having my notes pretty much in front of my face the whole time, frees me up to say, okay, I can focus on just this frame and its place in this entire composition, without feeling like, oh god, I can't forget this important thing that needs to be in frame 5 or whatever. So this just helps me in the process of making a comic. Floof along. Floof along. You received an invitation to a floof along. What will you do next? Yup. Spin to win. Go. And so that frame is a little bit not cool. Why is it less cool over here? What did I do? Straighten this out. You know what I'll do that I don't usually do is this, because it makes it easier to do this. Okay, better. So now I can grab the corner, slide it around. bit more openly. Center there, it's okay. Final group. And I like to have all of my frames ready to go at the beginning, just to take a little. If I'm in the mode, it's a lot easier to just knock them all out at once. Should probably have brought all of my sketches down, but that's all right. Here we go. So last night I was having a little bit of a tantrum because I couldn't figure out how. Now, since then I have done a little bit of digging, and Procreate, the Procreate team released a video not long ago on Twitter that they're talking about some of the updates they have coming, and one of the things they did actually mention in that video was a GIF export for Procreate Dreams, and I'm just like, yes, thank you. And they also, that should actually be coming, I know we're already almost done with month 2 in 2025, but it should be coming soon, like in the early part of the year. At least that's what they implied. So they've been working, he said, the last 12 months on these updates. So some updates for Procreate itself, and then Procreate Dreams had, what was his wording? A complete redesign, reimagining, retooling of the flipbook functionality, which is what I use a lot. So I'm just getting used to it now, so I'm interested to see what the things that they'll be introducing and how that will change workflow and make it hopefully easier. But yeah, so those are some of the things, because yeah, last night I was trying to figure out how to get my, animated GIF out of Dreams, and I was just like, okay, let's start with the easy bongo. I wanted to make a bongo cat for a floof, and so I was like, okay, let's start on this one. It'll be easy. I had my list of ones that I was going to do, and I figured that I'd just do that one start, and it just took forever because apparently I didn't know. Well, I did know that the pathway was not that easy, because it wasn't built in for whatever reason to the app. So I looked up and I found that a lot of people they export the frames to images, and then they select those images and bring them into another app to compile them into a GIF. And so one of the pathways is to Procreate and using that to assemble with Animation Assist. Well, the TikTok that I was watching, there was this one moment that, okay, I just basically she goes in, she selects all the GIFs or the images and brings them into Procreate, and that tiny little 2 seconds is so much assumed knowledge and process that I was stuck right there. I was like, I don't know how to do this. And because she had this little fly out thing that she was selecting everything in, and then and I barely know how to do a split screen on my iPad. So that was a stopping point that had me incredibly frustrated, because I didn't know what the heck she was doing and how she was doing it and how she was able to grab and drag this into Procreate so easily. And so once I figured that out, it took quite a bit. And because it was actually I thought I was stuck because I thought she was using the import function, but she talked about creating the same type of file, and I'm like, well, there's no import when you actually are opening the file. It has import on the file creation screen, but once you've already created that file, there's really, you can lay in these images and stuff. And then finally I figured out that if you have animation assist on, when you drag and drop a bunch of files, it'll automatically kind of figure it out somehow, and it did. But then the whole thing of split screening that with my iPad file browser, and it just, yeah. So I was frustrated, and but eventually I figured it out. So that's what's important. But so what was supposed to be like 3 or so new GIFs turned into 1. But hopefully I'll be able to make more tonight. I also have another thing I need to do that may take precedence over that. Just for tonight. I want to do a sticker restock. And that means getting my files ready, and I have, let me see what's on my schedule for that. I've got 8 brand new die cuts, and then I've got looks like 6 reprints so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then 4 new sticker sheets. I may add more into the reprints, but I was just looking off of the ones that the local store that I'm in, the ones that have been really selling, and then I'm out of stock on. I actually need to update the shop as well. Darren, hello! Happy Thursday to you too. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good day so far. The morning flew by. It did indeed. I want a little bit of a, yeah, I want a little bit of a paw poking out over there. And I think I will group and replicate this grassy hill in my other, whoops. because this guy is gonna run up, he's gonna hug, and then he's gonna be like, let's go. So I need at least a few copies of this. Go ahead and erase this. And let's get back in here. I think I can safely erase that because I made this one a little bit smaller over here. And I have the full, you know, it's not gonna be the end of the world if I am missing like this tiny bit. Goodness gracious, I'll have to redraw it. I think maybe what I'll do here is headphones bugging me. I might convey the grass over here with shadows here maybe, and then just drag that over when I color, perhaps. So today's comic is called Floof Along, and I got the idea that it might be cute if a floof, it's like a fourth wall breaking idea. So the floof notices the viewer, runs up for a hug. I did this before with I think New Year's in 2022 or something like that, 21 maybe, 2020, somewhere around a couple years ago, New Year's. The floof notices and they invite you to the floofy New Year's party. So this is similar, but this one runs up and he's like, come with me. And then it's next, your viewer POV as you're following the floof. You go on a little adventure and then he gives you some berries and then he leads you to the butterfly viewing hill or butterfly. I'm not sure what I want to call this. I was like, butterfly bluff maybe, where all of the butterflies come to play with the floofs and then they play with you. So I thought that would be cute. I love the characters break the fourth wall and hug each other's. I like that too. I mean, I feel like I do the idea a lot, but I don't feel like it's stale. I always like a hug from a floof. So, I mean, keep it going. I need to make this one a little bit bigger because the floof is right up against the glass, so those lines need to be a little bit thicker here. I'm going to go ahead and group this guy. Do a smaller little indication of where the floof is pressed up against the screen. Maybe you got a big belly pressed up here too. Got a big belly. Got a little chin. I'm going to group these together because I want them to be the same. And maybe I'll delete the forehead one and maybe just have that be implied with the edge of the kind of I kind of saturated a little bit, not sat. Well, yeah, I mean it's just a little bit darker when the face is pressed against the glass. So I may just delete that one and leave it, but I'm going to make this 30%. So, and let's make the hug. This will it might make him a little smaller, but it's a big hug, so. This hug is not cooperating. Well, a little bit more room for this hug, okay, Floof? Let's just map it out first. Like big hug. I like that. Alright, so I need to move this a little bit. Let's bring it over here and I could put the U could be like not sliding off the frame, but just a little bit more. There we go. All right. So now I can take my lettering that I have laid out and move so I can actually letter. Oop. Oh. That H is okay. Let's do, and I can also kind of edit as I see fit once I have all this drawn out. Ooh, no, that's not good. There we go. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like these letters are too far apart. Let's do the way I usually do it. I usually do the toppers first. And then I do this. That feels better. That feels better. That feels better. I might have to redraw that H because it's kind of, I don't know, a little wonky. Speaking of a little wonky, my nose is a little wonky. Jump back out. And now this G is too big. And now it's wonky. Let's just squish you. Hug. What if we pushed this together? We made the hug instead of big and... Yeah, I think actually that works better. Hug! And let's do the exclamation point here. Whoop! Whoops. Nope. Let's make this actually better here. And a boop. And a boop. There. And then big. Big hug. Center little big hug. That kind of try and line it up with the edge of the H. That's a little bit close to his ear, but I have room to fix that. So let's rotate and bring this over here. I think that'll work. Big hug. And now I can delete my rough sketch of the I've been making good progress on my list this week. I think I'm going to leave the grass behind Floof, at least for now, because I can just color Floof inside the Floof group, and in case I need to move him around, size him up or whatever, I won't lose my grass. Alright, so now Floof is going to say, let's go. So on my list, I've got, and actually I've been really good on my list this week. I'm very happy. So I was working on Marketing Wednesdays, which kind of Wednesdays I'm going to do an extra post on social media, just kind of highlighting stuff in the shop. So what I did yesterday was, and I was looking through, because I thought I had done some recordings of the plushies, and then I found all of these sketches that I had drawn in books, and I recorded them, but I never posted. And like, surely I posted these. I could not have forgotten to post these. And sure enough, I did. And so I went back and scrolled through, and yeah, so I've got a couple of those, and I went ahead and did the first one and did a little bit of a soft, push to, hey, if you want your own sketch, you can, get the books in the shop. And so that was the first one there, and I want to do some recordings for the plushies and maybe do kind of blatantly borrowing the idea. I think it was Fluff Nest or whatever. They had a really cute overlay, and then they had like a window where a plush just kind of was placed inside this not the window, but it was like a circle. It was a very, very simple drawing, but then the video is just playing behind this one kind of transparent cutout, and the plush gets placed, and then that's it. That's the thing. I was thinking it would be cute if I took that idea and made it something like the plush was looking out a window, or the plush was more interactive and illustrated maybe, and so I could place, Coconut there, I could place Pudge and Evil Landlord, and they could all be like looking out a window, or something to that effect, where it would be a looping little kind of animated GIF combo with the video. So I was thinking on that, need to film that, need to draw the bracket or window, but I was doing that planning yesterday. I also got a sticker restock and a new printing and update mapped out, and I just need to make my files for that, which I'll do today. And then the next big thing I'm working on, still Jiffy update. I did one. I was going to do 3, but we had some technical difficulties, so just 1 got done. So hopefully maybe I can get 2 more done today. I got to start working on volume 6, the cover, and I need to convert. I've got plenty of volume 3 still. Volume 2 is getting a little sketch on my stock, so I need to convert that volume and get reprints of 2 working. So far so good on this week. It's like, come with me. Let's floof along together. I feel like this mouth needs a little bit of help. No, the ear needs help. Let's just draw the gesture of this floof. So I have, come on, come with me. Let's go here. I feel like he's doing the Neo. Can you imagine a floof in the Matrix? It's maybe a point. I've actually been trying to. So part 1 was identifying that I'm doing a lot of scrolling, just too much. And so I was like, okay, let's replace some of that scrolling with learning and reading, and that's been good. I've been getting, some progress through my book list that way. And also, and I think that's helped kind of help me progress through the animation learning phase. Like on Procreate Dreams, I've watched several, kind of getting to know the interface, and I've started on my course that I bought through Schoolism, which I just bought the 1 and done. I didn't do the subscription, which was nice. They were running a sale, so the course was like $75, and I was like, okay. And I think they've gone up to like 90 or something now for the, buy it and kind of have that download forever. Because I found like when I had done the subscription in the past, I just had all of these great ambitions, but my follow through was just not. And the number of courses that I actually finished on it was not a good trade-off for, the subscription, even though I would do it during their like yearly sale. But so I was like, okay, let me just get this one course that I'm interested in, and if I find that I keep on doing more of these so that the cost balances out, then I'll do that. But yeah, so I started that, and it's very different because a lot of the YouTubes that I have watched on it, they are very snappy, like learn the basics in 9 minutes, 12 minutes, and this is a slower pace, and I kind of like that. I kind of like the difference of it because you get a little bit of the instructor's thoughts in there and the things that they've worked with, and their little asides on like this will come in handy later when we do this and that and the other thing. And so I like the difference there, but it's definitely helpful for me to have those kind of Cliff Notes versions before I go into the full full course. So I don't know, it seems to be working pretty well. But yeah, I figured out that in addition to that, I need to probably take just an iPad Basics course because I don't know how to even drag and drop files. And the split screen thing is still, I haven't done it enough to, be able to, okay, this is where I go and this. Everything is so hidden, and I appreciate the aesthetic of that. But I don't when I need to learn something and I can't find out how to learn because there are no buttons. and you kind of have to know where to poke at the Easter eggs, because it's like sometimes on the iPad it feels like I'm hunting for Easter eggs for simple functionalities. So but that's what, you know, that's what the practice and learning is for. Otherwise, how would I figure it out? Make sure this floof is looking at me. I think he's looking at me. Might need to edit that left eye a little bit. I find like when I'm doing these you know, I call them sound effects, but they're not like, you know, they're kind of action effects or whatever. The words stop looking like words very quickly. Like point is looking very weird to me right now. And I'm wondering, did I spell this right? Am I totally messing up point? Longer looks like a word. I think point. I think that. Delete the rough sketch there. Would it be better if he's like saying, come this way, like instead of like this? Like this? And if so, how would I do that? Would I just turn this? Let's do like the best of both worlds. Let's kind of like, let's come like that. Maybe. And this looks more like a wing than a peat. Over there. Maybe it would be better for his mouth to be closed. Although I kind of like the bigger open mouth. Let's experiment. I like that one. That one looks good. Let's group that and move it over here. And let's try the big. Oh, darn it, I like that one too. not sure. Kind of liking this. Oh, but I like that one too. Okay, I'm going to save all of those mouths and I'm going to let them, whoops. I'm going to let myself think about it. Okay. Well, this one is going to be fun. I want to do, oh, I need to increase my I want to show this floof is crossing over a little log bridge. I do some kind of a little bit of shadowing and trickery here so you can kind of see that there's a little bit of a, hopefully, so that you can kind of see there's some distance between the floof and this water. It's walking over, but not too much. I don't want you to be worried for the floof's safety. You can get across this pretty easily. Now I'm gonna have the floof share some berries with you because we're going on an adventure. An adventure includes snacks. do these berry bushes in the far distant background. I'll group this and make sure it's kind of on a different line art color than everything else. Push that back in the distance some to give the illusion that we're in the secret floof berry patch. Not so secret, just, you know. Alright, so those are done. And I am almost done with my line art here, so let's see if I can finish this last frame. Oops. It's way too much booty. Need to control the booty. Smooth out that. There we go. I'm just going to go ahead and draw this background in here. And I will need to erase whatever I need to erase, but I probably won't if I have my butterflies drawn in here. they have a tiny head and a big body. Actually, just look up a picture of them. Three parts, yeah. So we've got the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to redo this because the thorax is pretty small and the legs go, let's see, they all sprout from the thorax. the butterfly friends too. I need to make this one a little bit more focused on the viewer. And I think I probably need to make my point size a little smaller here. Oh. There's plenty of room for you to squish. You can probably see Coconut's tail. She's decided to squish, maybe? Are you gonna squish? You're gonna squish, okay. I'll of course give them big, beautiful butterfly wing details. And I just want to select the face. All I want's the face. There we go. Just wanted to raise it up a little bit. Go. The butterflies are coming to the viewer to say hello. And I do need to draw this one's legs over here. I'm gonna have to maybe move these guys because I need to have them, maybe I might move them in front of this floof a little bit because, or maybe I'll push the floof further in the background because I need this to fit like in one square on Instagram. So I'm gonna have to play around with that a little bit. But I definitely want them to look like they're coming towards the viewer, and maybe I'll combine that with putting the floof in the background on a lighter line art so you can immediately see these are forward and closer to you. Go ahead and save, and I think that'll be it for me today. I just need to move this out. And I know what I'm dealing with on this idea. I just need to compose it in a way that it'll work on a square frame. But I think all of these are looking good. I've got, you know, this one won't be too difficult. I really like, I gotta figure out which mouth I want to go with on this one. But yeah, this should actually be pretty easy to finish in color. I'll spend a lot of time on these to really push the kind of the the feeling that you're following this floof and you're in the comic. I like these little butterfly friends though. I think it'll be a fun one, a nice quiet one. All right, so let me go ahead and do my ending screen. I'm so glad you like it, Sharon. I think this will be fun. It was an idea that just kind of came to me, so I was like, okay, I'll run with it. I haven't done one of the fourth wall comics in a while, so. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday and a wonderful weekend. I'll be back on Tuesday with more animation. I'm gonna try and my goal is to get the other 2 Jiffy GIFs finished and uploaded that I had on my original plan. Should be able to do that without a problem. And then I wanted to play around this weekend with drawing a background in Procreate and then importing it to Dreams, and to see if I can just start combining the idea of, you know, a fully illustrated and colored background with an animation that is laid over the top. So I could possibly, some ways I can do that, you know, taking an idea from that that Daffy Duck short with the swans. That one was pretty, I could see pretty easily how they're, you know, this background is painted once and then they have the animated, you know, character plus the effects of them being in the environment over the top. So I could possibly do a floof floating in a leaf. That could be an easy one that I could do a completed background and maybe perhaps foreground elements that I lay over in parallax on the top, but have the floof animated with the little ripples and stuff in Dreams itself, not really interfering with the background elements. My original idea of all of the waving grass and the background was a little bit ambitious, I think, and I think that might be an easier goal. But anyway, thank you again so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.